I'm trying to get right. I'm
You
sorry,
gotta come
y'all.
this way some.
Move it over here.
Yeah, your body gotta come this way some too though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Okay,
right.
see you in there. You in there.
What you in there? Oh, ooh, I went too loud.
Yeah. Too
I
loud.
mean, I
Oh,
zoomed in too
you
much.
went too loud.
Yeah, I gotta get your boy.
Oh, she gotta get the baby,
Yes,
y'all.
cause
Hold
see,
up, she gotta get the baby.
you.
This real life.
All
Just
right.
act like y'all know.
I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know we got
This one
children.
says
So
love others, and hers says give
give
thanks.
thanks. Give thanks to the Lord. To the Lord. But the Lord. All right, y'all. We ain't did this in how many weeks?
I
Oh no,
think
we
it's
was
a
on the
week.
other
We
day.
did it last week.
Oh my
Yeah,
bad.
we was packing teas
Oh,
last week though. This week, I mean not packing teas. We were packing herbs
yeah, we
last
was
week
getting
or
her ready.
breaking up herbs. We were doing something with them herbs last week. Y'all saw it. Don't act like y'all don't know.
Okay, so we back on schedule. We back on schedule. All right, well, I want to be the first to tell y'all we're trying to stay consistent. Y'all got to give us grace, y'all. Please give us grace. Because we got a lot going on. It may not seem like it, but being a stay-at-home mom and then you trying to, develop your businesses. We got bees that we're working with. We got products that we're working with, and then herbs and stuff. It's a lot. And we didn't have a schedule, so we just made us a schedule yesterday. So we're gonna try to be more consistent, y'all. So hopefully every week y'all log on, y'all will be seeing a tea time for us. And now we ain't gonna promise y'all may not get noisy, okay? Because we got children and they are under 3, so
They
we'll
under
be.
two. They under two.
It mostly is 2.
Yeah, that counts as
So, we might have to have them with us sometimes. So y'all have to
Act like
excuse us.
y'all seen mommies at work. Y'all seen parents with kids working. Act
Yep.
like y'all seen it before.
Yep. And we want to encourage the mothers who the stay-at-home moms who also are, you got dreams, you got aspirations, things you want to do, but you have your baby, and we know how it feels. So we want to show y'all that we can relate to y'all. It ain't like we got a choice anyway. We have the babies, so you ain't the only one, but you can't let it stop you. We're not letting it stop us, y'all. So we being determined, and we want to encourage y'all to stay encouraged, just in case y'all are just like us, got
I ain't gonna
babies
lie,
and
I had almost let it stop me for about 2 weeks. I ain't really do too much of nothing because my baby is 17 months and I ain't gonna hold y'all. He cried. He cried. He's definitely nursed baby. So
yeah, Zero don't
he
play.
um he a Velcro baby.
He mean he mean
He a
business.
Velcro baby, and if you know him, you know he don't play that. He
They gonna see. Y'all gonna learn the Zero
yeah,
and the other ones
he don't
and
play.
their Mosa. They are.
He is demanding, and when I say demanding, he mean when he say do it,
Ooh, baby.
and I ain't gonna lie to you, I be doing it. I be doing it. I
Yeah, but ain't
ain't.
nothing wrong with that. Because they only gonna be babies once, y'all. And you know what? Speaking of this, we want to talk about today. We want to talk about like the things that's not blessing our families, generational curses, whatever you want to call them. But if it's not a blessing, it's surely a curse. If you ask me, if it's something that's not edifying. So we talking about our babies and Chantel saying she giving Azuro what he want. It's something that we should do because we hear older people say a lot. Put that baby down. Don't hold that baby. You gonna spoil that baby, and that's crazy to me. Like that's absurd. They are babies. Why shouldn't we give our babies love? Why
Mm-hmm.
are we taught to
Treat them like they
make the
grown.
baby, yeah, and make the baby not be attached? Like, I ain't never thought about it until I got older, but when Chantel started speaking, I'm like, you know what, this is the perfect time to slide the topic on in there, talking about generational curses and things that us and either we're contributing to the generational curses or we're breaking them. And if you decide to break them, and try to better yourself and your family, I ain't gonna say the consequences, but it's kind of like, I guess the repercussion. I don't know, how your family may look at you or how people may side eye you or how people may feel towards you because you're not doing the traditions of the family, or you refuse to keep up stuff the family been keeping up, you know? And I don't want to say it like I'm not a part of my family, because I am a part of my family. So if you are a part of my family, you got some of the same blood running in you as me, and you get offended, sorry, not sorry.
I don't feel like that's something you should have. Like, for me, it ain't nothing I gotta apologize to my family for. Y'all know what y'all be doing. We know as a family what we be doing and what ain't right. I'm not
Yeah.
apologizing to you for something that's been drug along in our family, and I'm just trying to stop it. I don't want it to continue for me. I don't want it to be nothing that I continuously do just because of, well, that's the way the family always did it. I don't care.
Me either. I really don't care. I used to though. I did. I used to care, because you know how it is when you want to make your family proud. Like you want to make your aunt, your uncles, your mom, your dad. You want to make people proud, until you realize no matter what you do, you just can't satisfy those people. Those people are not satisfied. Those people are angry. Those people are bitter. Those people are negative. And I learned that 2025 was a year for me. I never cried as much as I cried in 2025. And it was because of things like this, talking, things like this. And I'm just living unapologetically now. When people used to say that, I used to be like, like maybe that's kind of rude. Like what they mean by that? Like they don't care about nobody. Like they ain't considering nobody's feelings. But now I really understand what it means to live like that. And I don't. I care about people. I love my family. I love people. But I don't care about how they feel about me making changes and me trying to better my children and my family. I don't care about that. I'm living unapologetically.
Well, I feel like they don't care about you when it comes to that. So, well, you got to look at it both ways. If what I'm doing is for the betterment of myself and my family, and that bothers you and that offends you, then you don't care about me.
You're right.
So
you are right. That is true. Because there's a lot of stuff, y'all, that I notice coming up that I don't agree with. And Chantel, I know when I say this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I know y'all do too. Well, I'll say probably maybe 80% of you, 80% of you guys may know when it comes to adults telling younger children not to say lie. That's one of the things I want to talk about is, the adults tell the little kids, don't say that, don't say lie, don't call nobody a liar, say story or say fib. And why do we do that? Why is that talk? And why is it, and I know what the older generation is going to say is disrespectful. But if you saw a thief and they're stealing and you say they stole, or that adult stole that, or that adult is a thief, is that disrespectful? Or if an adult, off somebody and you call them a murderer, the M word, is that disrespectful? So why when we growing up as children say you lied or an adult lied, that's disrespectful?
Well,
the word lie is not profanity. That's
all
not
I
a
can
curse
say
word.
is my daddy told us to call it what it is. So in that sense, I was raised differently because my daddy was like, if I told a lie, then I'm a liar. That's just
Papa
what it
don't
is.
trip about that though.
So for me, it was normal. But I have been in a situation where I said it outside of the home, and then the adult was like, I'm going to call your dad. And I wanted to be like, you want me to call him? Because, like, at this point, he going to tell you the same thing. If you told a lie, it was a lie. A lie is a lie. And a person who tells a lie is a liar. Like, yes. That's what they are. He taught me that. So I get it, but I don't get it because my daddy was just, my daddy is raw in that cut. If anybody who know me, they think I say whatever. My daddy is raw and uncut. If you lie, you're a liar. If you steal, you a thief.
Yeah.
Like it is what it is.
And why do the I can't say for every culture, but within the black community, the older generation don't like for the younger children to call a lie a lie.
They don't like for you to call them out on anything.
You're right.
Like you
are right.
You can't say nothing to anybody in the older generation because they just like, they can't believe. How dare you tell them about themselves? How dare you notice something that they did and you pointed out? You're gonna tell me I mistreated you after I mistreated you?
And they don't like it. You'll get a whooping about that. And that's sad. I'm not whooping my children about that. That's something that I am not going to keep. that's something that I'm not gonna keep going on in my family. I'm not gonna do it. I pray my children don't do it with my grandchildren. You know, because we have a right to how we feel. And I don't understand why the family, it's like everybody got what you call a selective amnesia or memory, or people forget things. And when you're telling a
Selective
person,
memory.
yeah,
That's what it's called.
Yeah, and you're telling people how they make you feel. Like, you know, the family. It's like, don't nobody want to be accountable. Don't nobody want to accept you telling them, like, accepting it. You know, you telling them how they made you feel because they are older. You automatically shouldn't say that or you wrong. And I'm trying to practice this with my children, too. I am. I'm trying to be more aware, you know, when my children telling me something. Because sometimes when I'm getting on to them and then they wrong and then they want to start talking, I feel like they're giving excuses. And I tell them, just hush, you know, just hush. But then when I sit down and sit with myself, I realize, like, you're not giving them a chance to talk and express themselves. And when you don't allow smaller, young individuals to express themselves, they're holding and bottling all the emotion on the inside. And then they grow to be angry adults.
Or adults that have no emotional intelligence, don't know how to treat nobody, and don't know how to deal with the stuff that they got going on because they weren't able to.
Yep,
but
that's true.
I also feel like you don't get to decide how you made somebody feel. Like if somebody comes to you and they tell you this is how I felt after something that you did, you don't get to decide to tell that person, well, I didn't do that. It probably wasn't your intention. But if you made them feel that way, you made them feel that way, and their feelings are valid regardless of what you meant.
If you love them.
So you don't get to decide, you know, somebody else's feelings, because nobody can decide yours. If I said something to you and I made you angry, I can't sit up here and say, well, I didn't make you angry. If anger was the emotion that you felt, then you're allowed to feel that. I can say that it wasn't my intention to make you angry.
Yes.
And
that's the way that you're trying to apologize for, you know. And some people can't apologize, though. A lot of in families, you know, a lot of people don't apologize, and it's tearing up the family. It's tearing up the family. And one thing, y'all, that I don't like anymore, and I despise it, the older I get, is when we as individuals are discussing what such and such did me like this back then, 10 plus years ago, such and such is this, they did 10 plus years ago, and it's causing division with the children that's growing up now. Mm-hmm. So now they don't want to deal with such and such children, and it's, you know, it's causing a divide in the family. Family keeping up mess, the family keeping up drama. It's 2026 and we're still talking about 2018. And that's crazy, y'all. That's crazy because it's not helping our families. And then y'all know nowadays, family just not sticking together no more. And it's sad. It's like
weird.
We stuck together during oppression, during slavery. Like, we stuck together then. But then once the oppression started to lift, everybody's in competition. They house bigger than this, my house bigger than your house. Your house bigger than my house. I don't like you. You got money. I don't got money. Or you struggling. I ain't struggling. So you mad at me and vice versa. You know, families are not sticking together anymore. And so now we got to form our own family. People that we're not blood with. We're forming other family. And it seems like we're not holding up family value. When in reality, we want to hold up family value, but the family just isn't loving and nurturing anymore.
The family ain't valuing the family. That's what it is. And I feel like that's weird because growing up, I was around all my cousins, like literally all my cousins. Every week we saw each other. Every week we played. Pretty much every day we was together in some form or fashion. So
yeah,
to see it now,
it goes away. Well,
these
not here
now
to pop
different.
You're right. No,
they don't be around each other. The cousins be acting weird, like they don't know each other, or maybe they don't. I ain't saying acting weird like they don't know each other, but it just is. I know the family dynamic is real weird, and maybe I do understand that. I think that too, and I also think because I'll be honest. A lot of people, you feel obligated sometimes to deal with your family, regardless of how they treat you or regardless of what they do, because they're family. Oh well, that's your mama, that's your daddy, that's your sister, whatever. So I know a
I'm
lot of
over
people
that.
grew up and was like, I'm just not doing that because yes, yes, because the trauma and the bad talk, gossip runs deep in the family. You're right, Yvette, and that's kind of what I'm getting to, like because things have gone on so long, you're an adult
Mm.
now and you make the decision that I'm not dealing with that just because that's how the family's always been. I mean, it still goes to breaking generational curses, and I feel like that plays a lot into the family dynamic now. So like, I don't want to be around the family because every time I'm around the family. So I mean, it's a different dynamic for sure, but it's just weird to me because I was always around my family.
Yes,
I
but
also didn't know what the adults was doing when I was a kid either, so maybe that's why it seems weird to me because I feel like kids now know too much about grown people business.
yeah,
so
we shouldn't
so
talk down on adults or each other around the children because y'all know how our kids are just like we are. We hear our parents saying somebody wrong them, we don't like them. We don't like that adult or individual. I know that's how I was. I did not play about my dad. I did not play about my daddy. My mom my mama really didn't talk much about certain stuff. My mama kept her feelings in. Now my dad would discuss his feelings to me. My dad would talk to me about stuff. He discussed his feelings and expressed his feelings more than my mother. My mother kept her feelings in a lot. She still do that where she don't talk much about her feelings. And that's another thing like that we as a family go through. We don't express ourselves. We're not touchy feely. For my family, we're not touchy feely, on my mom's side, because on my mother's side, my grandmother was my grandmother was, about survival. My grandmother raised her children, it was her by herself for a while until she got remarried. So it was all about survival. So my grandmother would have to go out being a single mom, until she remarried again, like working, and the children would have to be home, tending to each other, making sure the house is clean and making sure things are well kept. So it wasn't much time for emotional bonding. So my mom, I can say, and I only can repeat this because this is what my grandmother told me. It was one agreement, and I was sitting at my grandmother's house. She sat back and heard it, and she said, I remember her saying something to me like, you know, Constance, don't say that. You shouldn't say that. She said something to me that I shouldn't have said. And then after that, it was kind of like a still small, it was like a little silence in the room. After that, she was like, well, really, I think your mom is like that, or your mom don't really express or do this. She said, because I didn't do it. She said, I really didn't, just sit down and love on your mom and them. I didn't love on your uncle. She said, because I was always working. And then when my grandmother told me that, y'all, you know, at the time I was very angry, so I did not care. I didn't care. But later on, when it sat with me, I felt bad because I felt like I'm getting mad at my mom and blaming her for something she had no control over, which is, her not being, emotionally attached. I feel like I can't say she's not emotionally attached to her children, but not showing it. My mom didn't show it. Chantel can tell you. My mom is she stayed herself. She quiet. She ain't talking about love, and she not really hugging on us. She not really
real affectionate, but my mama was not an affectionate person at all. My daddy, yes, but not my mama. And I think also just to speak to that is that sometimes we forget, or as kids, we don't even consider. We don't know who our parents are. It's not to say we don't consider who they really are as people, because we don't know the history of what they've gone through. We don't know what they experienced when they was younger or growing up. We don't see our parents as people, like as real people. So to be older and to to hear the stuff or to know the stuff, then you look at your parents differently. You start to see them as different people. You start to see them as more human, because now you kind of understand why they are the way they are, why they do things the way they do.
Let me tell y'all, cause we going my mom and a lot of different. I can relate to my mom more now. So you know what? Now I have now I got empathy for my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can feel sympathy for my mom, and now I can relate to my mother.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the difference. Now back then I couldn't. I didn't have any children. I didn't have a daughter that talked back to me because I was the daughter that talked back. So I told y'all in the last video, you know, I'm at a place now. I'm very honest. I'm very open. And then I like to be, you know, like, you know, if somebody's calling me out on something, I would like to talk about you harm. But y'all, I gotta be honest. I was the daughter that talked back. So I couldn't relate to my mama then, but now I can. I felt a certain type of way growing up in the house because I was the one talking back. But now that I have a child that talks back, I can relate to my mama. Now I understand how my mama felt. And it's like now, because I get angry in that moment when my child is talking back to me, like now I can understand maybe my mom felt like that because I ran my mouth too much.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe my mom was feeling this way and not talking to me or not saying something because I didn't know how to shut up. I didn't know how to hush. You know, and then developing feelings towards my mom, not even knowing what she went through, not knowing what my mom went through to get me here. She don't discuss it. My mom don't talk about it. I don't know what my mom went through as a teenage mom. My mom was a teenage mom twice. And now that's a generation I participated in because I was a teen mom too. So I didn't help at all because I got pregnant. I was 15. I didn't help that at all. I contributed to that generational curse, if you will. But when my mom was a teen mom twice, y'all, when I thought about that, I was like, man, that had to be tough. That had to be rough. And then if my mom was going to doctor visits alone, like having no support, you know, like y'all, that break my heart even thinking about it. Being pregnant and having no type of emotional or moral support, that's horrible. And I ain't think about that until that thought just dawned on me, just right here sitting here live, which had that support. So she's so bitter because you know we look at our family members and parents like maybe they may be bitter, but maybe they hurt. Maybe they got all these walls built up. Yeah. And we not realizing it because we really don't care about what they went through at the moment. We get mad with our parents. We're not considering the things that they went through and endured. And I told y'all, my grandmother said it was survival for her. So she wasn't she wasn't bonding and nurturing to my mother and my uncle and aunt's emotions. So
you know what? Learned behavior. It's really a learned behavior because I didn't see it. This is not what I saw, so this is not what I'm used to. So I'm just dealing with my children the best way I know how, which is the way that I saw how to deal with them, what my mom did, you know? And for sure, I was like that because I told y'all my mama was not emotional, affectionate. My daddy was. I think it's weird how I took on the traits of my mom initially. Like I wasn't affectionate with my kids. I didn't like kiss on them a lot and tell them I love them a lot until I went through therapy. Like I knew I had some issues. I had a lot of anxiety, a lot of so I decided to do therapy, and when I went through therapy, that's kind of when I realized I didn't want to traumatize my children, and I didn't want them to grow up not being able to show affection or to show love or express themselves, because it is hard for me to express myself for sure. To each other, like I know what she went through, she knew what I went through, but we didn't sit around and cry about our feelings, none of that. Like, we didn't. So
we'd be mad if we cried. Boy, if somebody made cry, boy, I get so mad at her if she was crying. For real, I get angry, boy.
Like, for real, what you crying for? So
that's sad,
it
boy.
Ain't funny, but it is funny.
But that's sad.
So it wasn't until I actually went through therapy and I was like, you know what? Like, let me be soft with my children. Let me give my children a space to express themselves or to whatever they feeling to feel it. Because I know what it's like to just bottle up your feelings and not say nothing. Because ain't nobody listening to you for real. My mama ain't affectionate. Like, ain't nobody listening to you for real. And I'm pretty sure that wasn't the case, but that's what it seemed like because she wasn't an affectionate person. She didn't talk about her feelings either. So, you know.
All right, thank y'all for the gifts. Thank y'all for the heart.
So I had to, man, please. I went through therapy and I was like, you know what? Let me make this space safe for my boys because I ain't trying to send my boys, into the world to be some emotionless man. For a woman, she can't cry, she can't express herself to him. He just mean, and every time she crying, it's like, dang, you crying again? Like, you know? So, so I wanted to make that space for them for sure so they can know how to get it out, know how to express it, know how to talk. Because somebody's daughter gonna appreciate that. She gonna be able to talk to him, and he gonna be able to talk to her, and it's gonna be for the betterment of whatever relationship they decide to have. But initially, I was not like that at all. I was not like that. But now it's to the point where I love on my children. I'm always trying to give them hugs and kisses, and they older now, so they over it. Like 15 and 19, they
but
done.
they appreciate it though. And when she was saying that about giving her boy space to feel and her changing, let me tell you, I want to say this because it's a lot of us hurt children that are parents now that are not forgiving our parents. And I want to tell you the same thing that the Spirit of the Lord dropped in my spirit. And the way God, like the way it was explained to me is, if you don't have $1,000 in the bank, can you go and withdraw $1,000? No, you can't. You cannot withdraw $1,000 if you don't have $1,000 deposited in there. So our parents, this is where the Lord broke it out to me. My mom didn't have that deposited in her. My father didn't have that deposited in him. So I can't make that withdrawal. I can't get that from my parents because nobody deposited into them. Is it my mom's fault that she wasn't nurtured and, you know, taken care of emotionally in that sense? No, that's not my mother's fault. Is it my dad's fault that he wasn't nurtured and emotionally taken care of? No, it's not my father's fault. So is it right for me to blame them? No, it's not right. I can blame them. I can get mad at them, but it's not right. It's not righteous. It's not fair to them. And when God dropped that in my spirit, I realized I've been holding my parents accountable for a lot of things that they had nothing to do with. You know, they're like me. I'm basically like my parents, trying to survive in this world, trying to give my kids something that I really don't know how to give them. So I'm learning to love. And where I may be learning to do this at 37, my parents may be learning to do this at 60. You know? And it's fair to give them that room to grow. And I wanted to share that because a lot of us are holding our dads not being there every day. Maybe all our daddy know is how to go to work. You know, his daddy might have just taught him how to work. He don't know how to be home. He just know how to go out there and get it. It's not fair, y'all. We're holding our parents accountable for things that our parents wasn't taught.
Learning how to love and being that example. Who's to say that you're the one teaching them how to do that? Because they never saw it, and now you come along and you want to change. You want to break that generational curse and be something for your kids, so they see that. So you know, who's to say they're not learning from you? Yeah. Parents learn from their kids every day.
We learn from ours. I learn from mine.
For sure, I'm learning from mine every day. Like every single day, I'm learning. Because I was a tough cookie when I had them first two. Them oldest two, I was tough. This last baby but granted, I'm older now. So I had those two when I was younger, and my heart was a little bit harder.
But from being hurt, your heart was like that. Not because you wanted to be like that, though. It's because you're trying to protect yourself. That's the only way you know to protect yourself. but because we don't discuss it, with our children, or our parents didn't discuss it with us, y'all, we have so much forgiveness in our heart, and y'all know unforgiveness can cause your body to get sick. It can cause you to be stressed. It can cause you to hold tension in your body, thus causing pain. And unforgiveness can block your blessings. Let me share something with y'all. One time I was going through with one of my parents, and I was angry and very upset and in my heart, and I was determined, like, I'm not finna deal with them, not finna talk to them, I don't care. And not realizing that I was growing bitter towards them. It's causing me to it was causing unforgiveness to set up in my heart. And well, while unforgiveness was setting up in my heart, you know what the Lord said, we don't forgive, the Father's not going to forgive us. Now it's hindering blessings. Mm-hmm. And I was praying, asking the Lord to open up this door, praying, asking God to open up this door. The door didn't get open. I was asking God to move on my behalf. Nothing moved. Once I began to forgive and ask the Lord, like invite God in my heart to help me with that thing, and I started forgiving my parent. Do y'all know? Opportunities started presenting themselves, doors started opening, and God started moving on my behalf because I was no longer trying to have that hatred in my heart and that unforgiveness in my heart. And then, like we say, it's not fair because think about the things now. Y'all might be the type. Oops, sorry, boo. Y'all may be the type that got they got parents that are perfect. Maybe y'all ain't went through that. Maybe y'all parents didn't hurt y'all in any way. But for us, we know we got just a few things that we might can think about. But once we think about what our parents went through when they was growing up, we realize that they don't know how to give it. If it's not deposited into them, if their parents didn't deposit it into them, y'all, we can't make the withdrawal. So you know what that means? We have to forgive them. And if we don't have it deposited into us, we have to pray and ask God to help us so the deposit is on the inside of us so our children can make the withdrawal. And then discuss with our children maybe why this was that way with us, because they notice the relationships that we have or we don't have with our parents.
Oh, they notice everything. Kids notice everything.
They do. And maybe, instead of trying to pass down the hatred, trying to pass down the division, because that's how the family stays divided, we can basically be compassionate. Give them grace, y'all. We got to give each other grace. We got to give our parents grace. Because I know a lot of people angry with their daddy for not being there. Meanwhile, our fathers or maybe their dad didn't have a father that taught them how to be consistent, how to be there, how to be on time, how to show up for this function, show up for that function, how to always buy this and buy that and make sure there's no need there. They didn't have that. Nobody taught them that. So we got to give them grace. And we also got to give ourselves grace, y'all, because if we wouldn't talk to us, we don't know how to do it. Same thing with finances, I want to say. Mm-hmm. Because it's things that you guys, I wish I had I wish I had a nanny. I wish I had an in-house nanny, somebody that I trusted that could be there with my children. But as of right now, I'll say the funds I don't have funds allotted for that right now. And it's not I can't get upset and I can't get angry because the family don't have that. Some family, some people inherit, and not to say that, we'll never be wealthy, not to say that, but some things just wasn't passed down to us. And it's not fair for us to become angry with our parents. Because I had to tell one of my children, I was talking to one of my sons, and I was telling him, or you may see, like other kids have this, or maybe they don't have that. Everybody's life isn't the same. Everybody's life isn't the same. Let's just, for instance, let's just say, for instance, because this didn't happen, maybe if when I graduated, I was gifted a home, and maybe Chantel like, well, I was gifted a home, I want a home, my parents didn't get me a home, and then starting to grow, getting upset with a parent. Meanwhile, I may be gifted a home, but is there any love inside of that house? Is there any love in that home, Do I got anybody loving on me? No. And we may be wanting what somebody have, and not knowing we might got the better, we may have not, I ain't gonna say a better deal, but our lives may be better. It's not always about the physical things, it's not always about materialistic things. And I wanted to point that out because I know sometimes we feel like we don't have enough. Why I'm going this way, I don't know, because we weren't talking about finance or materialistic things, but I've even felt like that, like, dang, some things are hard on me. You know how the saying go, get it out the mud. Like, dang, I gotta get it out the mud, and it don't feel fair. But y'all, God chose us. He chose to put us in a family. He chose to put us in. So it is fair. We're meant to be here. We're meant to be born inside the family that God put us in. And instead of us inheriting things, maybe God want to use us to set the standard or lay the foundation to encourage people around us, or to show our children how to do this, how to get it, how to start their own business, how to break a generational curse. So it is a blessing. It may feel like a curse, but it's actually a blessing because the Lord want to use us to, get some things into play, get some things going for our family. It's not always bad, it's not always bad. It's not always the way we look at things. And I had to talk to my children about that, my daughter too, because it was something she wanted, and I had to tell her, y'all better be careful what y'all are desiring or what y'all might be wishing and hoping for, because some of these children that y'all see that may have this and that, they're going home to a home that's full of hell, chaos. Maybe daddy isn't home because daddy's always out working to get those 7 figures, to keep the millions coming in. I'm not saying that's wrong, because every man, if a man don't work, he don't eat. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but you got to be careful what you're wishing for or what you're wanting, because you really don't know what it takes to get there or what it takes to have
maintain
that. That's another one.
Yeah. And I feel like we give these kids enough. These kids,
we do. We do.
These kids, I know mine. I'll speak for mine. I don't know about nobody else's kids. My kids got enough. And my mistake from me was because, I don't even know why I wanted to say that, because I didn't have it. Because I'm going to be honest, my daddy did everything he could to make our life comfortable, because he wanted us to stay at home. He wanted us to leave and go to this person's house and that person's house. So he made our life super comfortable so that we didn't have to go nowhere. Not that we didn't want to go nowhere, we didn't have to. But I've gone above and beyond to give my children not only what they need, but what they want, because I don't want them to feel left out. Like, they got to have this because they want it, and maybe their friends got it, and I don't want them to be the only one without it. And I've done that for a while because, like...
But you ain't by yourself on that.
I just give.
Us parents, if parents be honest, I feel like that's almost every parent's emotion or feeling.
And you can say all the time, just because your friends do this, you're going to do it too. But the reality is you don't want to see your children without something that everybody else has, because it just... If you feel bad, you start feeling bad for them. So you just give them everything. You give them everything. I'm going to tell you what, them children don't appreciate nothing.
They don't.
You give them everything and it still ain't enough for them.
They don't.
It's not enough because you've given them everything. They want everything because you've always given it to them.
That's exactly what I told my son.
You just give. They're going to keep taking it. They're going to keep asking. They're going to keep doing this. They're going to keep doing it. And half the time, do them kids even deserve it? Because I'm be honest with you. My middle child, not the oldest, my oldest son has a pretty chill demeanor. He do stuff sometimes, like he don't listen all the time, but for the most part, he listen and he do what he's supposed to. So I give him the world. But when he don't do what he's supposed to, then to me it's like, dang, why you steady asking me for something? I can't ask you to do something simple. You want me to cook? You want me to go to work? A single mom, go to work, take care of the house, do all of this and that, then come home and, Mom, I want this to eat. Okay, I'm gonna cook this for you, but then I can't ask you to do something simple. It's the simple things. I'm gonna do it, or when they on their own time. I'm gonna do it when I get ready, and they ain't gonna never be ready. It's gonna be midnight or the next day before they do what you ask them to do, because they ain't never ready, and they ain't gotta jump and move for you. They ain't got to. But my middle child is that mouth.
We got that one. Everybody
That
got that
mouth.
one.
And he asking. I'm constantly just giving. But that mouth, I had to tell him recently, like, hey, don't ask me for nothing, because I ain't spending my money on you. I'm not doing none of this stuff for you. If you got what you need, that's all you need, and that's all you're going to get from me. Because until you learn to be respectful and to control that mouth, don't ask me for nothing. Because you can't hit them. You can't hit them like the days of that is gone. Those days is long gone. You can't. Because I can tell you with my temper, and he lucky I done calm down. Because really with my temper, I'd be like, hey, we ain't going to do that because you think because I haven't that I won't. You know?
Yeah, they learn. But they're not crazy, and they see. It's kind of like, you know, you want to give your children space to feel, and you don't want to always, because being, like, physical, you know, like whipping or spanking, however you want to say, you know, being physical, that's not the answer. That's not the really answer all the time, you know.
You're teaching them to hit. You're really just teaching them to hit.
That's not the answer all the time, you know. The Bible says, "Spare the rod, spoil the child." But for me, the rod could be different things, you know. The rod could be, because sometimes now, taking things from them that they love, their phone, their cellular device, that's their whole world wrapped up in one. Taking that from them would hit harder than a physical. Because I know growing up, whoop me, man. I'd rather get a whooping. I'd rather get a physical whooping than to be put on punishment.
I'd go get the switch or the belt or whatever. Just let me use the phone. Let me watch TV. Let me go hang out with a friend or something. But please don't take that away from me. If you take that away from me, I'm dead. I done died.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, it's different ways to chastise. It's different ways to deal with the children. But I don't like when the children try to take advantage of that. I don't like that. And I tell my children, I said, when mommy's desires for y'all to do your chores, clean this living room, clean up after yourself, clean the kitchen, the bathroom, and you guys don't listen to my desire, when you begin to talk to me and tell me your desire, you want this out of the store and that, and you want this game and that console, you want another one, guess what? Mommy not going to listen to your desire. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to listen to you.
My ears are shut off. I can't hear.
Yeah, I'm not going to listen, and I'm not going to get it. And I've been sticking to that. I have now. When they make on the road, you know, they're doing good academically, I reward that. I do. Because God don't just strip us of everything all the time. And y'all know, right now, we may not deserve the things that God is doing in our life. We may not deserve the blessings, but He still yet blesses us. So I can't mimic God. I try to mimic God. I'm not God. I will never be God and can't. But I try to give my children the grace, you know, that God gives me and the compassion. I try to give, opening that door in and out. I try to give, you know, my children that space. I just don't like when my children are disrespectful. Because I got one, she wants to be disrespectful. But guess what? Every time she want to be disrespectful, she turn around and have to need me. And I said, look at her. I teach the children now, you reap what you sow, and be careful, because y'all are becoming adults. And when y'all get out here in this outside world, it's not going to be easy as you think. So, you know, and I'm trying to prepare my children for the world, because y'all know back to the family dynamic, and whether we're passing on a curse to our generation, to our children, or whether we're passing on blessings, I'm trying to work on passing on, you know, the blessings. I'm trying to do better, and I'm trying to be the parent that I would want my child to be, you know. But I have made a lot of mistakes, you guys. Made a lot of mistakes, especially when I was very depressed. I was very depressed. It was years back. I went through a lot. I was battling chronic pain, and I was battling depression. I was battling a lot, and I had no help. No help. That's another thing, family. You know, we as family. And because, you know, I'll never forget what that feels like. But to go through, and family could know you're going through, but they just going to sit back and watch, and they're going to talk about you. They're not going to lend a helping hand. They're going to talk about you, and that is no good. Especially if we want to be, united. When we're trying to teach the kids how to stick together and be together. I pray and hope that I don't be a person to do that in my family. To see somebody need a helping hand, but to want to watch them suffer. Because I know it's people in my family that don't really love you. Y'all know jealousy is the devil. Jealousy is of the enemy. Like, especially a certain type of jealousy. I'm not talking about when you're married, you love one another, you're jealous. You got a godly jealous, because God is a jealous God. But it was some things that I saw in my family that I did not like. I did not like when I was going through that hard time. You have family, I'm telling you, they won't do nothing. They won't talk good to you, won't say a prayer, but they'll talk about you. And I went through that, and it almost made me like, really count certain family members, not everybody, but count certain people out and off, because when you got family that's built on pride, they want the family name to look good. They don't want to be good. They want things to look good. That almost turned me away from my family members, man. It wasn't everybody, though. It wasn't everybody, but it almost turned me away from my family. But now I know that I got my own, and it feels different, y'all. And I feel like I'm getting older. I don't know if it's me. I feel like we're getting older quick.
We are getting older quick.
I know, but it seems like it's quick, though.
I don't know if it was quick, but it do seem fast. I feel like it's cliche to say that yesterday I was just yesterday I was, but that's what it feel like. Like just yesterday I was graduating high school. Yes, just yesterday I had just moved. Hey, she's talking about doing wheelies. We did that.
Yeah. Just yesterday we was in our coach yard in a vehicle.
Should have made me lose the track.
But we had fun.
I took my mom and daddy vehicle and not the spinning
wheels. Supposed to be in Bible study, y'all. Oh, we studying right. We studying right.
Why did she have to go there? But it do seem like that was just yesterday. Just yesterday, we was graduating high school. I feel like after graduation, life just sped up. Like that was it. Like after graduation, it sped up. Like
I miss it too. Not like I'm glad where I'm at in my life, but y'all know when we think about those childhood, the memories, like, I wonder when we get older, is we going to be sitting on our porch in our rocking chairs or, reminiscing about our youth.
We do that now. We ain't even old. We do that now. We ain't got to tell y'all how old we is. Mind your business.
But for real, like when we was young, we was cute. You know how you look back on pictures? You be like, dang. And at that time, I thought I was fat. At that time, I thought I was ugly.
That's me.
But then when you look and you see how pretty you was.
The baby face was real. And I look back and I'm like, dang, I was really a baby then. Like, and then you could just see the changes in your body and your face and everything over the years. And you be like, dang, if I could go back to this time, I looked good. And I was out here stressing about this and that and
yes, especially body. Like, I look back, but I'm grateful though, because I've had, so many children, and it wasn't a plan. I did not plan this. I told you, like, we are literally about 40 and we have a baby. We ain't 40, but we're close. We're close. We're very close to 40. And we got babies. So it's like when they graduate, they'll be close to 20, because they'll be about 17, 18 when they graduate. And we'll be
She doing too much math. She doing too much math. Ain't nobody asking about it.
We'll be pushing 60.
Why she doing all of this? Nobody asked her.
Chantel, I'm just thinking about, like, we'll be close to 60.
Yeah, I did have them. I had
on
them,
the field.
I had them oldest two young, and then I was like, you know what? I ain't want no more children for a while, because I ain't want to have to go through, like, what I went through with them two. And then I was like, you know what, I'm just going to have another baby. Then I had another baby, and I was just like, hey, you probably was pushing it, trying to have a baby at this age.
What? You were walking to work, boy. My friend was, I'd be on the phone with her while she be going to work in the snow, or no one snowing in.
Well, it wasn't snowing. I just,
but it was getting Chicago, it was fall,
so you taking public transportation. I mean, everybody ain't, but pregnant. Everybody wasn't taking public transportation, but for me it makes sense, because I would in the city. I would not buy no car. I would not vehicle, and not in that city. But
just the thought of it. But we get older though. We're gonna be older. Our children will be young and strong. I feel like God know what He's doing. These babies came at a perfect time in our life. Cause we'll be close to 60, then 70, and then our children will be young.
She's still throwing out numbers. Nobody asked for that.
Cause we're
She's
gonna be
still
older.
just throwing numbers out.
Because it's true, man.
Now all of a sudden she want to do math. We wasn't doing this much math when we was in school. Now she doing.
But I ain't gonna do no math, man. I'm gonna be quiet though, because I ain't gonna talk about no teachers. I ain't gonna do that.
We ain't gonna do that.
Because they might stumble upon this video. We love y'all. If y'all ever work at WC, HS, we love y'all.
We love y'all, but at that time, we just want y'all to know.
I wasn't feeling math. Yeah. I didn't like it.
I ain't never had really a problem with math, and that's the problem. I ain't never had a problem that 1 year. And I don't want to talk about it no more.
Want to make it hard. Y'all know about it. Y'all know teachers that want to make the work hard and complex and complicated, so you don't get it because they don't like people acing all their tests in their class, so they make it hard for the students. I don't like that. They got some teachers like that now, and I don't like it. For real. Because you got to really have a teacher's heart. We changing the subject right now.
She done went out. That's how strongly she feels about it.
You have to have a teacher's heart to be a teacher.
Ago, y'all.
And we got some people just being teachers for the occupation. And I ain't mad at you because you got to pay your bills. But you got to have a teacher's heart to be a teacher.
Did you actually want to do that? Or was that just something you decided you was going to do?
Some people just doing it. And you can tell. They don't have no patience for the children.
Did you want to be a teacher? Or did you just say, hey, I'm going to just be a teacher?
That's what Simone was doing.
Because I feel like for some of y'all, it was the second. Like, I'm good at this, so I'm just going to teach it.
See, I'm not finna kneel with you. I'm good at this, so I'm just going to teach it.
I'm good at stuff, but I don't want to be no teacher. I'm going to be honest with you. I
already got my
one time. You got one time. If I give you a recipe, I'm going to show you how to do that recipe one time. You don't get it right the second time. Don't get it right the second time.
See? Dang, I want you to be a teacher, man.
If Johnny had 2 apples, that's going to be me.
Yes, dang, I want you to
But I know that. So I ain't even finna play with y'all like that. I know that.
See, she know that about herself. See? So she playing. She knows she ain't gonna talk to them like that. She playing.
If Johnny had, like, why? Because I just told you how to do this. I just showed you how to do it. Why you ain't got it yet?
I ain't finna deal with her.
Alright.
She talking crazy over here. She done had a flashback now. But seriously, y'all, all jokes aside, we want to talk about, like, we want to come up with topics and talk about things to let y'all know that y'all are not by yourself. A lot of us, y'all, we are the same people, but we just born in different families, living in different cities, different states. And we have to encourage each other. We got to encourage one another. We got to do the footwork together, instead of just...
from the shot, hey, welcome.
Hey, y'all. We got, because we're more alike than we are, not alike. And it feels good if you have, like, a community. And that's what we're trying to build. We're trying to build a community. We want to find our community out there. And we want to be able to encourage y'all, and even receive encouragement from you guys. Because we're not alone in this. Y'all not alone in this. We just have to find our community and be close-knitted and stay together. And also, let me tell y'all what I want to do. I want to, because we do different things, on our side over here. We got skincare. We're working on some other things. Chantel got some new things that she working on. I don't want to announce it too early, but we are.
We'll find out when you find out.
Yeah, we're working on some things, and I want to be able to have a community. Everybody don't have money, or sometimes you may have the money, but you don't want to spend it. And I don't know how we're going to get this into play, but where we can have a community on Facebook, we can have a community on TikTok, a community on Instagram, but where we can come together because we garden, y'all, we're farming, we got bees, we got a lot of things we're working on. We are going to be doing content. We're going to be exposing you guys to our journey while we're doing this, but I want to be able to barter, and like, I don't know how we would do it, but be able to ship each other things, If I'm making if Chantel is making teas, or Chantel is making butters, or, healthy making herbal candies and things like that. You know how we can barter, ship each other things, because y'all, we don't know what the future looks like for the U.S. And if we can already start doing it, y'all, to get out in the soil and play around in the soil, because there's things in the dirt that boost your cytokine levels, that and boost your serotonin. So you may not know it, y'all, but getting in the soil and gardening really helps. It's indirectly, but indirectly it helps to boost your serotonin, and that's good. And if we start growing, growing our herbs and stuff like that, y'all, we'll be able to barter and we'll be able to help each other out. See, she hates it. She hates this fly. I know how to ignore the fly. I know how to ignore pests.
I can't ignore.
Because y'all know how you got pests in your life, and you know what you have to do. I ain't gonna lie, I got one pest. Let me tell y'all something. That pest, ooh, I don't want to go. I don't even want to get on the butt.
She just keep getting off on it. Getting off on that.
I know how to ignore a pest.
Anyway, on that note, we finna wrap it up a little bit, because we've been on here with y'all for a little while, and we appreciate y'all for sitting on here, for the ones who have been on here interacting with us. I know I didn't get to all y'all though.
And listen, y'all, for those of you guys that do want to be in the community when we start building it and we get this page set up, way we can on Instagram, and we'll let y'all know when we get it set up, so y'all can be in on it. We're doing more videos like this. We'll be posting them as well, so y'all will be able to go back on it and watch it if y'all want to go back and watch it, and y'all will be able to read things that we will be shipping, things that y'all can purchase, because once we get off from doing this live, we are going to be bagging teas. So we're going to have a lot of herbs that's going to be available if you guys want some herbs that helps with all sorts of things, to help aid the body. And we'll have natural soaps. We got natural butters. We got some hair care products. We have skincare products, and we're going to have products for the body as well. So you guys follow us. If y'all haven't already, please like, subscribe on YouTube. And y'all hit us up on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram as well. But we enjoyed y'all. We thank y'all for watching, sitting through this with us, and listening, and y'all not counting it robbery being here with y'all.
Hi. Have a good day.
Let me see. Well, I don't know how to stop mine over here.
I'm sorry. I need to help you figure yours out, though.